In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how we can use Meta AI for improving our English. As you know, Meta AI is an artificial intelligence tool, comes bundled with the WhatsApp, which is available in most of the smartphones in India. So I'm asking a question. I'm an undergraduate student who has studied English as a second language. Please tell me what I should do to improve my English so that I get selected in my job interviews. This is a normal problem, even for those students who have studied in English medium. The vocabulary may not be as good as required in a job interview. So let's see what are the suggestions that Meta AI gives. So it has given me the answer. It says congratulations, etc. Then it gives me ideas what I should do. Listening and speaking, listen to English podcasts, that is TED Talks, BBC, NPR for 30 minutes daily. This can be any of the Indian news channels also. Watch English movies, practice speaking with language exchange partners. Then reading, it says read English books. Then it says learn vocabulary through flashcards, vocabulary apps. Then writing and grammar, and interview preparation, additional tips, then various sites for study like Coursera, EDX, Udemy, then interview tips. I will not be able to concentrate all of them in this short video. What I will do is let me take just this one. Read English books. Now it says read English books, articles, and news. So one thing is you should every day read a newspaper in English and a news magazine because they will contain words which are generally required for conversing intelligently in an interview. Apart from this, it says read English books. Now let me ask Meta, suggest me a list of 10 self-help books for my level. So I'm asking Meta, give me 10 books. If I ask any books, it might give you novels. I'm not interested in novels because that is literature. I am interested in more in business communication. So self-help books, apart from the news, self-help books will be useful. Let me see what it gives. So it is giving me 10 books. So these are the 10 books. And I'm very happy to see that the first book that is suggesting is Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And this is a subject I have been teaching to managers for the last 16 years as a faculty for Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. I already trained more than 7,000 managers across India and also in countries like Sri Lanka. So now let us say we want to read this book and we don't have this book as it. It says Seven Habits. So let me ask Meta, give me a hundred will be too less, 500 word summary of habit number one of seven habits of highly effective people by the author's name is Stephen R. Covey. So let me ask for a summary. The book is 300 plus pages long, so I may not be able to read it right now. So let's see whether I'm able to get a summary of that book. So it is giving me a summary. So this is a summary of the book. If I read this book and if whatever meanings, word meanings, if I are not understood, I can go to dictionary.com and find out the meaning and the pronunciation. The dictionary.com also will read it out. Now, let me see whether it is difficult for my level because I said for my level. Now, let me ask Meta, what is the readability readability index of the above summary. Now, what is readability index? I'll explain once it comes. So, what is the readability index? Readability indices decide how easy or difficult for somebody to read that text. The various are there. I know three of them. Flesh Kincaid grade level, it says 9. That means someone who has studied in proper English medium with English as first language for 9 years, ninth grade. And that person is able to read this English. That is what the estimation as per the meta. Which reading is 960.4. One is the most difficult, 100 is the most easy, like KG school English. 70 is that something which should aim for. So now it is not 70. I want to reduce the difficulty level. So let me say make the summary simpler so that the readability index, what readability index? The flash reading is gets reduced to 70 instead of 60. I want it 70. Let's see whether it does that. So now it has simplified the text. Now the reading grade level has become 7.8 instead of 9. It is now 7.8 is less than 8. That means 8 years of education is good enough. Earlier it was 60. Now it is 70. So it is still asking, you want to make it simpler? No, I am okay with that. But I may or may not be okay with that. So let me see if you are able to understand. Effective people take control of their lives. They don't blame others or circumstances. Focus on what you can control. Choose your response to situations. Take initiative. Be proactive. People will take responsibility, solve problems, and care for themselves. The opposite of that is by the reactive people. So to become proactive, know what you can control. Be self-aware. Grow and learn. Take small steps. And where you can apply this one, setting goals, managing time, communication properly, and strong relationships. Now, these are the things that are in the habit number 1. Now, if you still don't understand this, take entire thing and maybe you can go to take a copy of this one, then go to Google Translate. Google Translate. I'll put this text here and translate that into Kannada or Hindi. So Kannada translation is there. Now read this one and the Kannada translation. You'll get something. Suppose you want to read it in Hindi, you get Hindi translation. So depending upon the language that you want, you can read the summary of the book of habit number 1 and see simultaneously the translated whatever language you want. Now with that, you are able to a summary of the book you are able to get. You can reduce the difficulty level by giving the command to Meta AI to make it simpler and actually measuring how simple it is based on the either flesh indicate grade level or flesh reading is. And then you are translating that into your own language, English, from English to Hindi or Malayalam or Kannada, whatever it is. And then whatever difficult words are there in this one, find out the meaning as I explained in other videos and find out its pronunciation. This way, you are able to get whatever it had suggested earlier. It says, what are the things that you need to do for improving your English? Reading books. So now, after this, you should actually make a habit of reading books. So, the original book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, and so many other books are there. Because I asked. So, Daring Greatly, Mindset is a book, Power of Now is a book, Miracle Morning, Essentialism, One Thing, Atomic Habits, 5 a.m. Club, written by Robin Sharma. He's an Indian author, Indian writer, motivational speaker, based in Canada. You are a badass. Now, instead of 10, you can ask for 20 books also and find out which one is useful to you. Make it a habit of at least reading one book every month. And that way, your own, and these are self help books. They will teach you something other than English vocabulary and sentence. And also tell you how to motivate yourself and become better. And generally, interviews always ask you, what is your hobby? And if you're like someone like me who doesn't have a hobby, like stamp collection or something like that, reading can be a good habit. And when you read these books, you can confidently say that reading is my hobby. And because definitely the next question will be, what is that? Tell me one book that you read. What is the last book that you read? And if you are able to tell that the last book that I read is Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, I Am Club, or Atomic Habits. And if they ask something question on that, you are thoroughly prepared because you have taken the summary, you have read the book, you have taken the translation, you have found out the meaning of the word. Beautifully, you are able to explain the whole thing. So practice this one on a regular basis. And once you do this one, maybe 1 month you can read one book. Then other things, whatever I mentioned earlier in other videos, like vocabulary, building vocabulary, collecting 3 words every day from newspapers or magazines, or even books like this, finding out their meaning and using their own sentences, etc. That will really make you very, very expert in English. So please like the video and share the video and subscribe to this channel because I'm going to give you lots of tips regarding improvement so that you get a good job when you pass out of the college.